In the 1980s, there were few movie stars as instantly recognizable as the rugged, knife-wielding, outback adventurer known to the world as Crocodile Dundee. But at the heart of that global phenomenon wasn't just Paul Hogan, the Aussie with charm and swagger. It was also a woman whose grace, intelligence, and presence lit up the screen. Linda Kozlowski. She wasn't just the leading lady in the film, she was its emotional core. And in real life, she became the wife of the man who played Dundee himself. But as quickly as she rose to stardom, Linda seemed to vanish from the public eye. So what happened to the woman who helped define a generation's movie magic? Born in Fairfield, Connecticut, in 1958, Linda Kozlowski didn't come from fame. She earned her place through talent and determination. She trained at the prestigious Juilliard School, one of the most respected institutions in the world for the performing arts. Before Crocodile Dundee, she worked in off-Broadway productions and smaller roles, slowly building a reputation as a serious actress. Then came 1986. Cast as Sue Charlton, a sharp New York journalist sent to the Australian outback, she lit up the screen opposite Paul Hogan. Their chemistry? Undeniable, electric, and very real. What started as an on-screen romance quickly blossomed into a real-life love story. They married just a few years later. Crocodile Dundee became a sensation, ranking as the second highest-grossing film in the US in 1986, just behind Top Gun. While Hogan's charisma took center stage, audiences and critics alike took notice of Linda. She wasn't the stereotypical damsel in distress. She brought strength, wit, and depth to Sue Charlton. She gave the character authenticity, making her someone viewers admired, especially women. When the sequel dropped in 1988, Linda returned, and the magic was still there. But behind the scenes, Hollywood had already started to pigeonhole her. Despite her proven range, Linda found herself typecast repeatedly, offered roles that echoed Sue Charlton, always the beautiful blonde supporting the rugged male lead. The industry's narrow vision of what she could be left her frustrated. And as time passed, it became increasingly clear that Hollywood wasn't interested in what she wanted, it only wanted what it expected from her. By the time Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles released in 2001, the magic had faded. The film flopped, both critically and commercially, but something more personal was unfolding. Linda was no longer satisfied. She openly expressed her frustration with the junk scripts she was receiving. Her personal life, too, was shifting. While her marriage to Paul Hogan had once been filled with love, passion, and global adventures, over time it began to unravel. He was older, still deeply tied to the Dundee image and the fame it brought. Linda, on the other hand, wanted something different, something real. In 2014, after 23 years of marriage, she filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. But from that heartbreak came something empowering: freedom. Linda didn't just leave a marriage, she left behind the version of herself that Hollywood had crafted. She stepped away from acting and embraced life on her own terms. And instead of fading into obscurity like many expected, she redefined herself completely. Linda moved to Morocco, a far cry from the red carpets of Los Angeles. In Marrakesh, surrounded by rich culture and endless desert horizons, she began a new chapter as an entrepreneur. She co-founded a luxury travel company called Dream My Destiny, curating high-end, bespoke travel experiences for those seeking a deeper connection to the world. Gone were the auditions and flashing cameras. She had traded scripts for soul. In her own words, "The best role I've ever had is the one I created for myself." And that's what makes her story so unique. Unlike others who burned out or faded away amid scandal, Linda Kozlowski made a conscious choice to disappear and to thrive. She remains gracious in rare interviews and is still fondly remembered by fans, but she has no desire to be pulled back into the Hollywood spotlight. Today, Linda lives quietly but fully, under Moroccan skies, surrounded by culture, adventure, and purpose. She shares a respectful, distant relationship with her ex-husband Paul Hogan, with whom she shares a son, Chance Hogan, an emerging musician known for his bold style. Even Paul has admitted in interviews that Linda was far stronger than many realized and wise enough to walk away with grace. So, what really happened to the Crocodile Dundee star? She refused to be boxed in. She embraced fame, honored it, and then chose authenticity over illusion. In doing so, she left behind Hollywood's narrow vision and stepped into a life filled with depth, peace, and personal truth. She may not be lighting up the big screen anymore, but if you look closely, beyond the spotlight, you'll see Linda Kozlowski still shining. Thanks for watching Starloop News, where we bring you the untold stories behind the stars you thought you knew. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to tap the bell icon so you never miss a moment from Hollywood's hidden side. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and keep looping in with Starloop News.